this is Grace and welcome to another video. This is the latest in my digging through my stash series that I've been doing this year, and we are on letter P, and I decided that I will feature pockets. And what I will do, what I'm planning on doing anyways, is I am going to make some pockets out of vellum. But before then, I wanted to look into sorry for the noise. I don't know if you can hear it, but my refrigerator ice cream maker started making noises. Sorry about that. Anyways, right now, or before I'm settled with the red, I was actually auditioning if I wanted to do a green cardstock background or a red, and so I'm gonna go with the red. And then I had two pattern papers that I thought would be really cool to use as a background. One was stars and the other one is this kind of frosty like snowflakes in the background. And although I really like the stars and I think it's subtle enough, I also kind of fear that if even though the stars are white and small, I still thought that the design was a little too much for the design or the layout that I was going for. So I decided to go with this snowflake, or just dots, I guess, to make it more subtle so it's not too busy of a background. So I have two photos here, and these are just kind of like your everyday photos, well, kind of more a holiday type of photos, and they are me taking pictures of our DIY or our homemade Starbucks apple cider drink. We had this drink at Starbucks a few years back. Me and my husband went to Starbucks one time and had it, and we thought that it was really yummy. But of course, anything Starbucks, it's pretty pricey. So thank goodness for Google and Pinterest. We found one where you can make your own. And so that's what we do. And we make it for everyone in the family and everybody likes it. And because it's winter, it's the perfect drink. So I thought that I would make a page out of that. Now here I am making my vellum type of pockets. So I just kind of measured what kind of or what size pockets I wanted. In my head I wanted it to be the same size as my photos because I was going to fill the pockets with paper that would match the length of the height of my photos. So basically the pockets are 3x4, and what I did was I kind of measured it. If I wanted the end result to be 3x4, I want the length of the length of the paper to be the same but with a 1/2 inch, and then the width would be the same, but I wanted it to be doubled. Does that make sense? So it can wrap on itself. So if it's a 3-inch, then it should be at least a 7.5. So that's kind of how I measured it. And then I just cut the sides of the bottom half and just left the center. So that will be my lip to close it. And then of course the half from the width measurement will overlap the paper on the back. And that's what I'm doing here. Now, I don't know if you're concerned about adhesive that you can see through with the vellum. I'm not, and I think the ATG gun is pretty clear enough that I'm not bothered by that. And I did want my pockets to be like, it would be easy for me to pull items from there, and so I decided to cut a half circle. I just used my 1-inch punch for that, and then cut that half circle so that I can have a little bit of opening on the top. And those are my pockets. Now you can also do some pocket cards, if you are trying to do this type of or this challenge. You can definitely do pocket cards, which we know like Project Life does and all the other companies do. But my problem is I've done that one already, and I actually did I believe I did create a mini series using just pocket cards, and I will link that in the description box below if I remember it. But I didn't want to do it again because I've already done it. So I was just kind of thinking along the lines of pockets, but not necessarily using product like pocket card papers or cards. And so if you are so inclined to do the challenge, you can also do the pocket cards if you don't want to make your own pockets. Anyways, now I'm cutting some scraps of holiday Christmas themed papers, and I'm putting that I'm cutting 4 of them so that it will fit inside the pockets. At this point, I really don't know what I'm going to use the pockets for, but I don't know, I just want to make pockets, and I just wanted to kind of add more paper to this. You can also use paper as part of your challenge because, P for paper, but I feel like, in every layout that I do, I use paper anyways. So I felt like that wasn't something that I should or I needed to emphasize on. But that being said, you can tell that there's a lot of paper on this layout. So I am using that P product anyways. So I moved the photos. One will be on the top of the lineup and then one on the bottom of the grid. And then I have this cut file that I think I got the cut file from Paper Issues, and it's a birthday themed one. And I cut a bunch of them on brown glittered cardstock. And I felt that the brown is good. It's a good neutral for this particular layout. And then I also liked the phrase time to party because, it's always a party when we have these kind of special drinks in our home. So now, one more note that I'm going to say, I cut those papers about a 1/4 inch or an 1/8 inch shorter, skinnier than my pocket. That is so that I can easily slide those papers in and out of the pocket. So instead of it being 3x4, it was actually I think it's like 3 7/8 by 4. And then because I do have that half circle opening there, I felt like it needed something to go on top of the paper. So I decided to make my papers into kind of a tag, and I made a hole, and then I needed some twine, and I decided to go with just a single color twine. I think this is more called a floss, but I don't know. It's a thread, and I'm using a dark green so that it will kind of match the rest of the other products that I'm using in this particular layout. And I'm moving things around because I haven't really committed yet for anything, and I will do that in a little bit. But first I thought, my photos are getting lost a little bit, so it needed to be matted. And because I had gutted out the red cardstock background, I have that extra kind of 8-inch square that I had cut from it. And so I used that paper to make my mats for my 2 photos. And then I had pre-typed and pre-printed my journaling in a Word document. And I'm just going to adhere that on the bottom. Now, like I said, the pockets, you can basically do whatever you want with it. You can fill it up with things that are interactive, that could go into your layout. And I could do that later on, but like with this one, I just wanted to have a little bit of design and uniqueness to this page because I feel like a pocket could break me out of my rut or my usual way of doing things. One of the things that I also did with these tags, papers, whatever you call them, is I did some layering. So as you can see, I did a strip of paper on that left top tag and then a centerpiece on the right top tag there. And then now I'm going to decorate the outside of the vellum. Because the vellum is pretty clear, I can still decorate the front, and you can still see the inside paper peeking through it. So I'm just going to add some embellishments. And like I said, when I started this, all I had in my mind was to make pockets. I really didn't know how this layout was going to end. And so when I saw these stickers, the gnome stickers from one of my, I think it's Echo Park, or maybe it's a different brand. I can't remember, but it's in my Christmas stash. And I really don't use gnomes in my Christmas accents. I think gnomes are kind of a more modern accent for Christmas, and I don't really like that. But I decided to use it here because, yeah, it is December, but it's not one of our Christmas tradition type of layouts. So I figured I'd use gnomes because why not? I have them, and I don't know where else to, what else to use it, so I'm going to do that. Now I am adding 3 gnomes here, and I'm going to use some fun foam to adhere it. And I decided to move that gnome that has the black hat to the bottom so that this other one that has the red one will be to the right, so it's not too close to the snowman on the left. So now that I have that, it's looking pretty good. And then I'm just going to add a few more stickers here and there that I thought would finish off the layout. And that is it. I will have some close-up shots at the end, and this is, I'm going to tell you, this is like sticker galore. I had a lot of fun with this, and just enjoying all of the layering here. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, let me know in the description box below. If you like these videos, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing, and also hit that bell button so that YouTube will notify you of when I post a new video. And if you are new here and have not seen the rest of this series, I do have a playlist in my YouTube channel. It's called Digging Through My Stash, so make sure that you check that out, and hopefully that will inspire you to dig through your stash and to see what products that you can use on your next layout. Until next time, thank you, and I'll catch you guys in another video. Bye.